This is Then and Now, the show where we take old photos from the west coast of Sweden and attempt to recreate them to see what that place looks like today. And in this episode you'll see us attempt to recreate this photo from Slottsskogen, shot at the city park Slottsskogen right here in central Gothenburg. So we have entered Slottsskogen and we're actually close to the observation tower and the observatory. So this is the view right now. So what I'm looking at is obviously there's some stuff here now that wasn't here back then. What I'm really looking at is, let's see if I can point at it, at the church tower back there, because this is the Museum of Natural History. Which hadn't been built yet when this photo was taken. And also, if you look at this photo, in the foreground there's a big church-like structure, and I believe that would have been somewhere here. It was completely torn down. It was, I believe, part of the old care home for the elderly, which obviously isn't here anymore. Looking at the ridge behind the church tower, though, I think the photo was taken a bit further in that direction. So I'm going to walk further in that direction and see, but I could be wrong, and in that case I'm coming back here. So this is pretty much the last place, I think, where it might have been taken. So I'm heading down here. But you know what? This is not terrible. I think actually this might be it. So this is what I'm looking at right now. There we have the church, and it sort of aligns with the hill behind it, the way I want it, or the way it is on the original photo. Also there, by the way, that building, I believe, is the modern care home for the elderly. So I'm going to set up the camera and I'm going to take the photo here. Okay, so I have set up composition. I think is fairly close to that. We'll see how close I manage. And now I'm going to lock up the mirror and take the photo. Oh, yeah, let's do it. I almost forgot. Oh, is this recording? Yeah, it is recording. So, almost forgot. I was supposed to do it because the Bronica, of course, is quite a modern camera, even though it is a phone camera. I also wanted to do it on this, a Kodak Brownie #2, I think. I will put the precise title in somewhere in the video here. But so yeah, this would have been probably around when that photo was taken, or at least very close to that time. So I have set it aperture 11, I think, or is it the other? Okay, so there are 3 aperture modes. 11, 16 and 22. I don't remember, but I think 11 is the aperture which is set when the lever is pushed all the way in, and then you have 16 and 22, but it could be the other way around, and in that case it's going to be terribly underexposed. Now I just sort of lined it up as best I can, because I can't really see this one. The viewfinder here is missing the mirror, so I can't see anything there, and the other one I saw mostly my own face, so it's a reflection instead of, you know. So, but let's give it a try. We'll see. Hopefully I have something to show coming up on the screen now. Well. And so there we have it. So first of all, on the left, of course, we have the photo that we believe is from before 1923. So that means it's a little bit earlier than that Brownie camera that I used, the old one, because that was in 1926. Now, there are a few reasons why I think it's earlier. First of all, if we look here, there is a building there, a spire-like thing, and that is the Natural History Museum. It should be somewhere here between the two churches, and it's not, and that suggests it hadn't been built yet. Now that opened in 1923 as part of the 300 anniversary celebrations, the city celebrating 300 years, 1621 to 1921, but the celebrations were postponed to 1923. I believe due to pandemic, much like the 400th celebrations, anniversary celebrations were postponed from 2021 to 2023. Never mind that, I digress. Let's go back there. So, the fact that that building is not there suggests that this probably dates to before 1923. Now, as for the composition itself, obviously we have the Annedal church there in the original photo and there in the 2021 photo. So, the angle isn't great. We should have angled, or I should have angled the camera slightly more to the right. You know, not great, but not terrible either. Now, one last thing here. So we have the church here that is part of the Home for the Elderly, or was part of the Home for the Elderly. That church, of course, doesn't exist anymore. It was torn down. So we couldn't use that landmark to help us position the camera correctly. However, pay attention to this building here, because I have found evidence that suggests that that building is situated exactly or very, very close to where that church was. This I found out this after recording the episode, unfortunately, but I discovered this photo shot in 1948 when the church still stands. So I can see where that church is in relation to these houses here, but also to this tower-like or turret-like structure, which is part of a building at Linnéplatsen. So if we have a look at Google Maps today, we can actually find that. Let's see, let's zoom out a little bit. So here we have the Annedal church, and here we have Linnéplatsen, and if we zoom in on Linnéplatsen, we find that tower-like part of the building here. So that is actually what we saw on that photo. And if you remember, let's see if I can do this very quickly there. If we look again at the photo, we can see that this tower is sort of in the middle of the frame, a little bit on the left hand side, but pretty much right smack down in the middle of the frame, and that's important. So let's go back to the map and have a look now at drawing a straight line from that turret-like tower all the way into Slottsskogen here, and we kind of almost intersect with this building here, and that is that tall building, which let's go back. It is actually this building. So that suggests that this church would have been situated pretty much precisely where this building is right now, or maybe slightly further to the left. Anyway, to make a long story short, I believe that means that we are pretty much exactly where we wanted to be, within reason, of course. So there you have it. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. Hopefully you look forward to seeing more challenges where we try to take photos or to recreate historical photos here on the west coast of Sweden. But until next time, cheerio.